Did you get a kick out of the fact that Harry had released a statement about the men in gray suits?
Oh,
Um, and then everybody that week wore gray suits. Did you notice that, or did it tickle you
well,
at all to see that? I mean, we
well,
it was by all means, but forever, for all we know, it was a coincidence that we saw
yeah.
everyone in gray suits. But it did give me a little bit of a
Well,
giggle.
well, yeah. When I saw people saying, "Well, look at all these, friends of the royal family all rocking up in grey suits."
And
Well, the man,
Catherine was in a gray suit.
I know. Well, I'm that might have been a bit more cleverly thought out, but the others, we can overanalyze. But the men in grey suit things from Harry, I think we talked about it last week. Complete load of baloney. He needs to rewrite his script. Okay, something's come out today that allegedly there was a stalker that was at the World Child thing and then at something else who's known to the family. And then Sir Harry's saying, well, look, my security's not good enough. And it was my private security people who dealt with it.
Well, that's what they're
Look, it's a
for. That's what they're for, Harry.
yeah,
But also, didn't you
yeah,
think that the timing was suspicious? I don't know what the
yeah.
headlines are for Meghan over there right now, but over here, it's blowing up how insensitive it was for her to be videotaping around Diana's death scene, the fact that she was at a Balenciaga show, Balenciaga accused of predatory behavior. They had to kill two of their ad campaigns, predatory behavior towards children. Meghan's about to accept a Humanitarian of the Year award for her campaigning to protect children. I don't, I'd be curious to know what the headlines over there are like. But to me, I see that Prince Harry headline and I go, distraction, distraction,
Oh,
distraction.
the whole thing is a distraction. And then her rocking up at a Paris fashion show. Now, it's I don't know enough. Was it good? Was it a good look that she was in? But it was strikingly white. So it
Well,
made
I
her stand
can
out when
tell you
everyone
that
else
I've
seemed
done
to.
plenty of hits wearing my Balenciaga, which is
What's
just
that?
which it's just my
It's
top
a
sheet.
towel.
It's just my
Okay.
top sheet on my bed.
Uh, okay. Well, you've got your Union Jack on today, so you're feeling very patriotic to this country today. But um, I mean, I don't know. It looked to me like extremely impractical to wear when you've got things all around here, and Anyway, not my scene. Don't know. Obviously, cost an absolute no. It didn't cost her a thing because obviously she probably got to wear that. But it does seem to me if that's the first trip to Europe to go to Paris Fashion Week. Oh, hello. We got a dog on. Who's that? What's that? We got a dog coming in. This is a
He's
foot.
so
Is this the
mad at
foot?
me because he has a toy up
You
here that I took from him, but it was gonna squeak
can we
during.
see the aforementioned? Oh
This is
God.
Rue who needs a haircut very bad.
Oh hello. Well,
Haircut.
Rue and I'm Rupert. So there we go. But anyway, oh, rather sweet dog that. But anyway, we digress. I think, which is probably quite a good thing given what we're talking about, because I didn't find it to me going to Paris Fashion Week all the way from California is about as shallow as it gets.
Yeah.
Now, the video driving around the streets of Paris with her feet up on the chair in front of her, I'm sorry, that is tacky.
Yeah.
Now, driving through the streets of Paris, no, don't just, what do you think of your husband? What
Yeah.
does all he know about driving around the streets of Paris is his memory of his mother being killed in the streets of Paris. Why
And
is
he
his
talks
wife even
about in
think?
Spare recreating that,
Yeah.
recreating those steps, and
So
that's
what was her thought process there? Did she not film it? Yes, and show, but not to post it. I am sorry. That is just shameless.
yeah.
Um, and going to the Paris fashion show, look, there may have been a lot of A-listers there, but actually, I thought they were supposed to be environmentally savvy.
Mm.
Well, if you've just gone for a photo op to sit in the front row of a Paris show from California, and okay, her 4.2 million Instagram followers may go, yeah, whoop-de-doo, but actually, and Mr. whatever the firm is called, who's had all the problems, and I had to suddenly look up and what were these problems? They pulled the ads, and then they've sort of got cleared, and I mean, they apologized and did
Well,
everything
they
to
didn't
try
get
and get.
cleared. They just pulled the ads and acknowledged
Yeah,
that
but
they
then
were inappropriate.
well, but why? See, the fashion industry is, they do things to shock and awe, basically. And that was, but tacky in the modern era to even think like that. Now, I don't know whether they've changed their tone now, but I don't think it's actually brilliant bringing in Meghan Markle. But then they, on the other hand, might say, well, 4.2 million people will see her strutting her stuff, sitting in the front row. Didn't seem to be the stuff I've seen naturally engaging with everybody around her,
Well,
but I may be
their
wrong.
excuse was that Megan was there to support the new creative director, who's a friend of hers. I challenge you to watch the video of her, like the awkward hug kiss. Those are not two people that are familiar with each
Right.
other. Go look at his Instagram. He doesn't follow Meghan Markle, so she's certainly not this little muse or whatever. So you're right. It's just kind of like a quid pro quo. We're going to give you this ludicrously expensive slash hideous outfit, and we want you to come to this fashion show, and it'll be a nice little positive PR blitz for you. Where she screws up is not doing her due diligence about Balenciaga's history and in the Diana video, because okay, let's we'll say that Balenciaga has had some giant moral compass change in the last 2 years. Then that would the I don't know how long we could really debate this. I think that there's more to the Balenciaga connection because the Kardashians are heavily involved in Balenciaga, and I think that this is proof that the Kardashians are trying to help Meghan. Khloe Kardashian posted a basket of as ever not too long ago. We know Kris has been seen with Doria. I think the Kardashians are stepping in to try to resuscitate Meghan's career. But when it comes to the Diana video, it is really hard to wrap your mind around that. You and I both had to sit through With Love Meghan. And the whole
Yeah.
sell on that show is that she always goes the extra mile to make things special. The way her mind works is she's going to try 10 times harder than your other friends to make sure you have a good time. She has your favorite treats there. She makes memorable jewelry with you that includes your child's birthdays, but you're not thinking about the fact that your husband's mother had her last breath right where you are when you kick your feet up on the seat. Like, isn't that
I'm
hard to
afraid
process?
it, in reality, it's, I mean, it's, when I first saw it, I said, is this a fake? You know what I mean? You go, because there's so much out there you don't actually know, got to decipher and go, pause, pause, pause. But clearly, it's on her website and on her Instagram, so it has to be real, unless someone's hacked her account. But why does she even think that that was commendable? What was it showing? I don't know. And the fact is, she's flown all the way to a fashion show when she is supposed to be, aware of the environment and everything, just for an evening of glitz and not much glamour. It just, these fashion shows, we know what they're all about. We had the Beckhams doing it. We've all, they're all, who can get the best lot of A-list celebrities there. I don't know whether they were an amazing group. Wasn't Anna Wintour there? But she's,
She doesn't even have the
she's on the
job that
way
made
out.
her relevant anymore. She gave up that
Yeah, I know
job.
she's on the way out. She's now permanently being photographed with Meryl Streep. Just to sort of give Devil Wears Prada 2 an extra boost because obviously it's
Yeah.
supposedly based on her. But I mean, that's why I looked at it and went, "Oh my God!" It was, and also the timing of it was just absolutely typical.
Mm-hmm.
And they'll deny it and say, "Well, she was always going to go there." But the whole point, she loves these amazing last minute appearances. Look at me. I've turned up. I'm the big star. I'm not sure she is. It just looked like she was basically got a big rug over her.
Well, and
The more
also
I
it
think
does.
of it.
I know I say this to you more times than not, but do you ever get the feeling like too little, too late? If you would have, first of all, it's there's a dishonesty in this narrative too, that they were like, oh, Meghan Markle back at Fashion Week 10 years, after her last Fashion Week. She was at like Toronto Fashion Week. No offense to Toronto, but like she hasn't been to Paris Fashion Week before. And then I feel like if she would have went again, we're pretending that this isn't Balenciaga and there aren't problems associated with the Balenciaga brand. But had she done this immediately post COVID, because COVID did wreak havoc, and when there was somebody probably from her camp leaking the idea that she could become the new face of Dior, yeah, maybe she might move the needle. But it feels like she's here. And can you hear this dog squeaking his stupid thing?
No, but
Okay, good. It's distracting me. Anyway, let me
I
get back
just
to my.
heard it. I just heard it. No, dogs are allowed to have freedom
It's
of
distracting
expression.
me. It's distracting me, but
It's a land of free speech over there. So if your dog wants to squeak away, then let him. Let
well, I
him.
wanted to make sure it wasn't happening in your ear because it's
Yeah,
definitely
no, no, well,
happening in mine.
I just did hear a little squeak, but it was minimal, and I wondered
Okay,
what it
good.
was.
Okay,
But
good.
good old Rue, kick on, mate, kick on.